Hey guys, can y'all hear me wherever y'all are? Hey Zach.
Hey Jay, how's it going?
I'm good. Y'all doing all right?
We're here.
I feel that on a number of levels, to be honest. I'm just grateful for you offering this Zoom option instead of me driving basically 6 hours tonight.
I was like, don't drive, this is going virtually.
Yeah, I much appreciate that. Why is my computer being stupid?
You've been inducted in for your.
Yeah.
Why you look mad?
It fixes it.
That's just how you look. Don't smile. People say that all the time.
Yeah, I come in like his like.
Hi guys, how are y'all? There you go. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood.
It was right.
Let's go get you your card again real quick.
Some kids just have resting bitch face, okay? That's just how it is.
This way.
Hello.
No baby. I left her at home. But this goes too long. Yeah, ours is This is not, she's not- if this thing goes through.
It goes tomorrow. You ain't seen since forever.
I mean, if Alan.
I mean, you go out there and have a baby.
If Alan does his usual, then that's my excuse to go.
Say what now?
What? I admit nothing.
I mean, I got attacked twice. And me having started
Yeah. I was about to say, he did just kind of walk in.
Why don't you smile? What'd you say?
Now I don't smile enough and I talk too much.
Right. But if you change those
Always
things.
on me about being
you'd be like,
late, and I am.
I'll sit next to you.
You might not want to, I've already accused you twice now. I don't smile enough and I talk too much. I'm sure my foot on the floor.
I'll take myself. Sorry.
I'm gonna pull this curtain
Oh, thank you.
to kind of help with the sunlight.
I'm gonna use your coffee real quick.
Okay. Is that better?
Oh, I gotta tell her I got my baton in. No, it's me. I was playing the.
She has like.
No. Professionals. She needs one. I told her, I said, I'm ready to read. I'm not gonna play the flute part, but I'll play everything else.
What's her name?
Yeah.
She said what?
It's a read book and hairspray.
Oh, hairspray.
Zachary,
Oh,
should be just about.
Yeah, it's on.
I got it.
Yes.
Basic.
It was on the website, it wasn't. I thought that's my big reason, see if we want to realign.
Guess what came in the mail today? My lot at a time.
Yay. Did you say
Same
every
thing,
card I
just a
never
different
text
way.
you? I just saw it. So listen, it was different than because I got the
Hi, District 8.
That's a great looking dog.
This is my new puppy. I got her a week ago.
line.
This is Montana.
Okay.
Say hi. Oh, hi.
This week,
This one is Arizona. Get down.
We have.
No. I guess they kicked us out, huh?
Or maybe, I don't.
You'll appreciate this. Have you ever played on an acrylic mouthpiece?
No.
Um,
What's the difference in the feel?
a couple of things that I'm noticing. It warms much faster
Yeah.
and it feels warm when you're playing it.
Oh, really?
Much more comfortable.
Interesting. Okay.
It's a really small one a friend gave me, and I'm trying it on my pick.
Cool.
So I'll let you know more on
Oh,
that.
I appreciate that. You're looking young like a college student again.
Well, I'm in my home office, and so all of my trumpet gear is up here, and like,
Nice.
yeah, this is well, actually, this is the upstairs where my kids' rooms are. They have a living room set up, and I would say that the Captain America shield is theirs, but it's not. It's mine.
But you got to own it. It's okay.
I've got a giant, like 6 foot wide Starship Enterprise hanging right up here where you can see it. So,
Okay, now I'm jealous. Good for you.
yeah.
They're back.
Hello.
Well, they were back.
Maybe so. Zach, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
I tried to share the screen, but it says the host has not allowed screen sharing. And to be honest, I haven't done this in a long time, so you may have to talk me through it if you remember.
Hold on, it may be on my side. Let's see. Here. All right, try it now. There you go.
You guys, can y'all see that?
Yeah.
Sir. All right, everybody, it is 7:01, so let's go ahead and get started. We're gonna now call this
See, we're
meeting
already been
to
hot scheduled. I
order.
haven't said anything yet.
What's your fault? Is that?
They said we run too long because I talked too much. I
You
ain't
said
said
a
anything. We're already
threat in
been
the mood,
about-
I'll let you know that.
Now I'm talking. Order,
Y'all wanna be
order.
here all night, y'all wanna go home?
Order.
All right, so, welcome, everybody. I know that the meeting got changed, but it was for good reason, only because I had so many death threats because we were beating the spring break, Region Band, everything was going on. Even though I did see in the minutes where we did vote to have it at Region Band, a lot of people who voted to have it were not there, so we're here tonight. Appreciate you being able to come out tonight. Have a lot of things going on to talk about, especially in the band division. So we want to try to get through this part of the meeting as quick as we can, and we'll be good there. I don't think we need to introduce anybody, because I think y'all know each other, correct? All right, well, if you don't know somebody, go shake their hand and say hello. We're gonna go ahead and jump right into things. We have Mr. Jay Davis joining us. He's gonna give us a couple of updates from GMEA.
Hey guys, how are y'all tonight?
Good.
I'm going to go very quickly through this because it's the end of the year and none of us want to be here doing this anyway, which is exactly what I told District 11, my home district, last week. So basically, I'm just going to share some things from GMEA. What can y'all see on your screen? Do y'all see my notes or just the actual PowerPoint?
Your bear.
Say that again.
We see your desktop, your bear.
Oh, you see the bear. Okay, crap. Hang on. I'm working on it.
There you go.
Better.
Hey, I
Nice.
can learn. Old dog, new tricks, that kind of thing. All right. So first things, thank you guys for being here. I know we're all working hard and counting seconds, minutes, all of that to get to the end of the school year. I do want to thank Zach again. I had fully prepared on driving to Ware County from Warner Robins tonight. And I called him after school just to confirm things. He's like, oh, by the way, we're going to Zoom this if you just want to Zoom in. Yes. So thank you so much for you guys for letting me do this. So let's see. I got to remember how to change all this stuff. Nope, that's not the button I need. All right. So did it change?
It did.
Sweet. I want to thank everybody who came to the GMA conference this year. The theme "Committed to Positively Changing Lives" was a great reminder of what the opportunity that we have as music educators and the impact that we have on students. A personal story from this weekend for me: 2 students of mine met in my band, started dating in my band, and got married this weekend, and asked me to play their first dance at their wedding. So if you think you're not having an impact, you're having an impact for not just the time they're in your room. And it was very cool. Opening session was great. I'm going to jump to the next slide. If I can remember how I do that. Okay, there we go. There were over 50 performances, all Georgia groups, 140 clinics, 150 exhibitors. And we continued with Tech Town. Did anybody visit Tech Town while they were at GMA this year? If you didn't, it's really cool, and it's going to continue to grow as we all, I think, are coming to realize technology is going to be more and more a part of what we do as directors. And there's some really helpful things out there. Just out of curiosity, who has used ChatGPT to write a parent letter at this point? Okay. For sure. It's coming out there. My wife is the music ed professor at Georgia College. She figured out how to set an AI link in her email signature where people can just go ahead and schedule meetings with her through that. And she doesn't have to do any of the process. And it's really kind of brilliant. But check out Tech Town if you're next at your next GMEA. We also had the on-site concessions, and just out of curiosity, just yay or nay, did we like having vendors on site for food this year? Was that useful?
Yes. It's good.
Yes.
Yes.
Great. No one yelled or threw things at me, so that's good. Next question. Did y'all know that we had a shuttle service from the hotels to the conference this year?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's going to be something we're looking to continue moving forward, especially with this year with the hotel across the street being down for renovations. That will be open for next year's in-service and all-state events, which I think will be great. But I think we've found that, having a service similar to what they do at Midwest would be really, really helpful for everybody. So make sure you're checking that out. All right, next up, high school experience. 120 high school juniors and seniors who are interested in music ed. Got to visit and learn from some master teachers in our profession. I know Laura Moat Stanley heads us up. She's the band director at Brookwood High School, and she does just an incredible job with these students. I highly encourage, if you have students that are looking to pursue a degree in music education, to just check this out. It gives them kind of a one-day glimpse of what we do, and it's just a really well-run and great event. Next up, congratulations to all of our 14 district music educators of the year. It's so nice. I really, really enjoyed the new process. Andrew Hill is District 8's music educator of the year, does an incredible job at Valdosta High School. And I think that this setup is much better than the old one, where it was just kind of, we're not really sure how it happens, and all of a sudden there was a music educator of the year. So this really gives us a little bit more insight and gives you more of a say and the membership more of a say. So make sure you nominate at your fall meeting for the next District 8 Music Educator of the Year. Having said that, our statewide Music Educator of the Year was Scott Martin. Scott was formerly the state choral chair and also serves as course director at Creekside High School in Cherokee County. He's up from District 9, so congratulations to him. We are already reviewing information that we received from our post-conference survey. Hope that you took time to fill that out. We definitely read all of those and consider anything that we can do to improve the experience for our members. We hope that the continuation of elementary performances, that even more elementary groups apply. And, you know, to be quite honest, all they can do is say no. If you think you've got a good group, send them in. Your band, chorus, elementary. We need more representation from South Georgia at the state level on these state events. And, you know, I was fortunate enough to have a group play at GMA a couple of years ago. I applied 7 times before I was selected, but I never stopped. So keep pushing at it and get some of our South Georgia groups that play extremely well at the conference. Next year's conference is going to be January 29th through the 31st, and all of the all of the performing group and session applications are available on the website until May the 15th. So you still have a little bit of time left to get those in. If you have a small chamber group, that might be great for a lobby performance. If you just want to kind of get your feet wet with how the GMA performances work, those applications will open up in mid-August and be available in the fall. All right, next up, event participation changes from last year, from fiscal year 23 to 24 and 25. Increases are leveling out post-pandemic, but all 3 of our events continue to see some increase in participation between elementary and all divisions. The statewide elementary decrease was due to the number accepted in 2024 exceeding the maximum. We actually had more kids participate than we should have, which is never a bad thing, but that's why the numbers look the way they are. Lots of great things going on. Highly encourage you to participate in these events and make sure, again, that South Georgia is represented well at the state level. All right, next up, we had 7 bands, 6 orchestras, 8 choirs, 2 6th grade honor choirs and 2 elementary honor choirs. It's a lot of kids getting served by music education in the state of Georgia. And if you've not been at those concerts, they are absolutely phenomenal. I still say that the best thing that I've seen in being vice president was the addition of the middle school tenor bass choir. Those guys are awesome at the middle school level, and it is such a great group. But all of our groups do well, and just continue to push that with your students and prepare them and have them represent well at the state auditions. Looking up to next year, these are all of the dates for 2026. Elementary Honor Chorus will be January 9th through 10th. 2026 All-State Jazz Band and Reading Chorus will be at the conference 29th through 31st of January. All-State Chorus will be February 19th through 21st, and All-State Band will be March 5th through 7th. As always, all of this information will be emailed out once all of the district meetings are done, so don't worry about frantically taking notes if you just want to kind of follow along. So, large group performance evaluation, we are all finished with all of that. I just want to say a special thank you to anyone who hosted, organized, managed, moved equipment, did all of the things to make those events a huge success. We will continue to have Zoom training in late August or early September for anyone who organizes LGP in any level or any division. So make sure you're keeping an eye on that if that's your job in your district. This will be an opportunity to review handbook requirements and for scheduling, as well as sharing best practices to ensure that all events are of the highest quality. I also want to say a special thank you to our districts who are intentional in hiring judges, specifically ones that are within driving distance. It does save the organization quite a bit of money in those ways. Secondly, each division will begin working and developing specific division training and rubric revisions to present at the 2026 council meetings and would be implemented in the 2027 performance evaluations. So if you have any thoughts on improving what we do at performance evaluation, from the way it's scored to anything that you just think might be helpful, keep those in the back of your mind and be ready to present those when that information comes out this fall. And finally, and I don't know how much you guys have to deal with this. I know we don't deal with it at District 11, but some of the northern districts in the Metro Atlanta area are having ridiculous cost for janitorial services and just to use the building for performance evaluation. So hopefully we don't have to deal with that, or you guys don't have to deal with that. So just as much as we can keep those costs down, it helps everybody if we can. All right, any questions so far? Everybody good? I'm cruising, trying to get through this, y'all. Budget update. We shared our budget update in the fall with all 14 of our districts at our district meetings, and you guys should have received an email with all that information on September the 3rd. GMA's, the executive committee's highest goal and priority is focusing on a commitment of sustainability reducing our expenses and improving the quality of our events. We just want to make sure that we're meeting the needs of all the members in the organization. So far, the goal was achieved, and grateful to everyone who have kind of leaning in the past 2 years so this trend could be reversed. There was some money things we needed to get right. I think it goes without saying that Alan Fowler has been tremendously helpful in this process. He's doing a great job, y'all, as just GMA Executive Director, and is really, really, really concerned with the membership and how the decisions that get made affect the membership. So if you get a second, drop Alan a line and just say thanks. The difference in fiscal 23 was a lot of money. But we want to remind that it came from the fact that we had the one-time payments for the small business loan where we were able to keep our employees employed during the pandemic. We received that money. So that was a lot of one-time things, but we have allowed the last 2 years of surpluses have allowed us to continue rebuilding our operational reserves. It is recommended for nonprofit organizations to have an amount equal to at least 1/3 of our annual budget in reserve at all times. And we are approaching that total. At the end of the current fiscal year, not including the balance of our Small Business Association loan, we are projected to have just over $500,000 in reserve. So we are nearly at the goal that we needed to meet as far as what is recommended for nonprofit organizations. So lots of things going well with our budgeting, and all of those trends seem to be moving in the right direction. Next up is the small business loan update. We took out the small business loan during the pandemic. If you remember, we took out a $150,000 loan just to make sure that we could stay afloat and weather the storm. We began paying off the accumulated interest of that 30-year loan in 23. And starting in 24, we started paying down the principal. At the end of fiscal year 25, the principal will be approximately 106,000 left, which we should be able to pay off in 4.5 years. So as I said, Alan is a great steward of the financial resources of GMEA. He is constantly worrying about it, thinking about it, finding ways to get us more money, finding ways to increase the way that we can spend the money in more meaningful ways. So that's really a great update, and really glad to see that that helped us get through it, but that we're going to get out of it in much earlier than we expected. Budget update for fiscal year 25. You can see the projected revenue and expenses that was approved by the committee in 2024. We don't have actual expenses at this time because we're still paying bills. A lot of bills come due in March and April from judging contracts and solo ensemble and those kind of things. So we will have a detailed financial report at the board of directors meeting next month, and that will it'll have most of our numbers, but the fiscal year closes on June the 30th. We will share all of the finals from this year at our district meetings in August. So keep an eye out from that. They would like me to mention that the committee is looking at the possibility of increasing registration for in-service next year. Our current rate has not changed since we moved to the conference in Athens. So we moved the conference to Athens 8 years ago, but many of the costs of having the conference in Athens have increased substantially. So we're continuing to look at those costs and see how we can manage them without being too much of a burden on the membership. They're also looking at changing the LGPE fee structure with some possible changes. And the choral council for my choral directors has submitted a request to increase the All-State Reading Chorus student acceptance fee from $25 to $50. And in doing so, this would include the music packet in that fee, which I think would be a little bit easier for our choral directors than having two separate things to deal with. It just kind of puts it all in one place. All of these things will be discussed in detail at our executive committee meeting on May 16th. Your district chair should be planning to attend that. So, but all of these will be communicated post-meeting so that everybody knows what's going on. Board of Directors meeting, May 17th. This includes all division chairs and district chairs. And this will be a large discussion on proposed handbook changes, which were all discussed at the council meetings during the all-state events. And all of the handbook changes, as well as a statewide calendar, will be approved, which was sent out to membership on April the 18th. So if you didn't get that, Make sure that you check Opus and make sure all of your information in Opus is correct, because if you're not receiving the information, it's most likely because something's gone wrong with the input in Opus, and we just need to get that corrected. Once again, just a quick reminder of who all the staff members are. Alan, Bernadette, Laura, Alita, Megan, and Cindy do such a great job managing the business side of the organization and keeping everything running so that hopefully seamlessly, but they are incredible people. I know that I have reached out to Laura on numerous occasions, and she just knows everything and can fix everything. So if you ever need to reach out, all of these people are happy to help. And like I said, if you get a chance, maybe send them an email and just say thanks. It is somewhat of a thankless job, and a lot of times people are getting yelled at up there because of things that most likely Opus has done wrong. So just give them a chance to just take a chance and say thank you. Communication, take a minute again to check Opus and make sure all your information is correct. And if you have any new teachers coming in to your district, make sure that all of their information, they understand Opus and can get in, especially at the beginning of the year next year. Everything can be found on our website. We also, Megan Williams has done a great job increasing our visibility on social media between our Instagram page and our Facebook group. So just make sure that you're following those things. But otherwise, the biggest thing with communication, and I said this to my friends and family at District 11, the communication is great, but if you guys as directors, if we as teachers don't take time to read them and pay attention to what's contained in the communication, then it really falls on us when we're not getting the information we need. So please take time to read these emails. I know they work really hard at the executive office not to send an overwhelming amount of emails. I mean, certainly there's times a year where you'll get more from the band division if you're a band director, but they really do try to streamline the process to not clutter up your inbox. But when they come, please take a second and read them. Lots of valuable information that gets shared, and a lot of times things that happen that end up at the offices for GMA are because people don't take the time to read. It's just being a professional, and just make sure that you are getting the information and then reading the information. Moving to the next slide. Leadership, new leadership will be taking over July 1st on the executive committee and division chairs. These people are going to do a great job. You can see the list there. Andy Esserwine is coming in as our president. Neil Ruby will serve as past president. Kevin Brown from Villa Rica will be our performance evaluation VP. Marla Baldwin from the choral division will be vice president for all state events, and Richard Bell will continue on the past president's council. Division chairs for band, Sean McBride, chorals Velma Jenkins, elementary Erica Brown, orchestra Kevin Anderson, and collegiate division will be Josh Bird. These are all really great people, and they're going to do a fantastic job. Our division chairs, if you need to reach out for anything, these are our outgoing division chairs. So if you need something in the next 3 weeks, hopefully you won't, but if you do, these are the people that you need to reach out to, and they've all done incredible work in their term. So in the division chairs work really hard, y'all. They have a tremendous amount of work that they have to keep up with for their division, and these guys have been spectacular. Executive committee, you guys know all these people and have seen them before. I do want to take a moment to say that it has been a pleasure to serve GMA over the last 2 years as vice president for Allstate, and I'm really glad to have had the opportunity. So thank you guys for trusting all of us with this responsibility. I promise you, we have not taken it lightly, and we have worked really hard to make things better for the organization. One thing that's coming out soon, and honestly, it's way overdue, but we've been working really hard to make the handbook much more readable, much more streamlined. If you guys have been around for a while, you know there's like 5 places in the handbook that says something very similar to each other, but they don't always match. We work really hard to try to eliminate those things. So all of that's going to be rolling out in the fall, but we just wanted to say thank you to the membership for your trust in us, and just really appreciate the opportunity to serve. That is my last slide, y'all. I'm done. Anybody have any, Anybody have any questions? I really tried to talk fast so that you couldn't think fast enough to ask questions. So I did my job.
Nobody else.
No, that's me. That's me. Well, thank you.
Yeah, I do want to mention one thing for my band guys. This is coming from Grayson Mullis, Region Band, and Todd Howell. I just wanted to make sure that you guys knew that I think there was a problem with plaques for our conductors this year, and some of you noticed it. That was not on the region band side. That was more on the Valdosta State side, from what I understand. So just keep that in mind as you guys go forward. But I'm out. Zach, can you do me a favor and count the number and text me and let me know how many are here for the meeting tonight?
All right, we'll do.
All right, guys, if you got any questions, you know who to contact. It was on 6 different slides. So if anybody that you need to ask a question to, just send it to us. But at any rate, thank you guys, and y'all have a good meeting.
All right, thank you, Jake.
All right, take care.
All
Bye.
Let's see.
I can't make it stop.
I got
Getting too old for this technology, guys.
you. There we go.
Y'all have a good night.
All right, take care, man. All right. Here we go. All right, guys. Hey, Steve. Oh, hey, nice face there, man.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes, sir. All right. All right, next on our list is the review and approval of our minutes taken by our newly appointed secretary, Mr. Lino-Raye Signs. If you're on the chat, all the documents we're talking about are in that folder. You can click on those and find it. And let's just take a moment to read this, and then I'll need a motion to either approve or revise. I thought we were playing music for this part.
I have a note about the minutes.
Okay.
It says, in regards to region band, that VSU will be asked to make the concert more kid friendly. We're gonna approve that.
I thought you were serious there.
I need to be more official. I mean, it's on there, it says it.
That's what y'all said. And so.
I know, so apparently we need to work on our follow through.
Y'all said that. The man is copied into the. Is everybody online able to see the minutes? Okay.
Sure.
All right. Sure. And I'll post the actual link in the chat again, so you go straight directly to it.
I got a question.
What's that?
On the Secret Honor Band, it says Candy County to host the West.
That's for the East. Yeah, I need this if y'all want. What's up with that?
I'm not speaking on.
East go all the way into the wall, but that's east.
Motion to approve the minutes.
Second.
Motion.
I'm sorry.
Second.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. All right, with that being done, we will move on to our treasurer's report. And again, that is accessible in the file that I shared with you online. I'll also share the direct link for those who need it. Let's take a minute to look at that. Brooke, you want to explain that or talk about
Yeah,
that?
I'll explain it because it works in my head, but it don't always work in everybody else's head. So at the top, it are the numbers of income that came in for the event and the numbers that went out. So not any numbers from any other year or anything like that. Like that is exactly how much revenue was taken in for each event and how much went out, and then what the balance is from this year alone. So the top part shows you what went in and out. That's what I sent to the state. So that's what they will see. You do see that it says negative for middle school and elementary. But the good news is it's not really negative because we have a cushion. That's just, you know, exactly what came in and what exactly went out. The cushions for the fall were the same, so I just listed so you could see it again. And then the cushions for the spring are listed at the bottom. We did add a choral account this year. Thanks to Christy for doing district chorus. I gave the chorus students an opportunity to participate. So that now is part of our budget as well. And she did a good job of not going into the hole or taking any money from the band. She did really good. I'm just kidding. And, so anyways, but, and the number you see at the bottom is going to be the, like, for instance, the high school, $5,215 plus the $2,850 at the top. So if you add those two together, you get 8,000, well, let's hope you do, $8,065.98. Jazz band always equals out, so great job, Michael. Middle school, we did go in yeah, high school made money, so yeah. Middle school and elementary, we added in new things this year. We did an activity, we have 2 things going on. I know it looks bad like it went in the hole, but I mean, that's what that's what I feel like. We have a cushion, so we don't have to keep raising money, but that's something we can look at as a group later. But we did do an event this year, which was, I think, the best thing we've ever done. So I think it was great. We added another meal. So we did 3 meals this year, and we had a nice dinner. I felt like that went smooth. If y'all want to talk about it later, we can. So I mean, that's just all stuff now that we know kind of what the costs are and all we can adjust as needed and make a decision. Operational money is usually just the money. There's $84.98 that I was off. I mean, I'm just going to be honest. And that is going to be money like people pay checks really late. And I put money in, and sometimes a whole check goes in, and some people pay money where they'll just send me 1 check. So I'm begging and pleading, if you work for middle school and high school, send me separate checks. It is so hard on my end to distinguish between what's middle school and high school when you send me all your money in 1 check. Or for jazz band and high school band, I'll get 1 check that says $800 and I have no explanation of what it's for. So that $84 is the difference in the account, and it was probably something like that where I just didn't know which account it goes in. So we always kind of keep a little bit of operational money, so that's in case we need to do something. So the total on the cushion, $15,092.99, and the total of everything, including the operational monies at the bottom. In the account today is the total at the bottom, $16,459.91. We have some more deposits because people pay their money late that I have to go deposit now. I did finally sign up for online deposits. Our bank here closes at 4 o'clock. I don't get out of school till 3:30. Kids come get instruments, and by the time I make it across town, it's always closed. So I usually have to leave on my planning time to go make deposits. So it's nice when money comes in all on time that I can go make a deposit. And so anyways, but I did sign up today to do electronic device deposits. So I think that'll kind of help some in that case. And there's a few things that people have not cashed their checks with some of the events that we've had. So that's what the pending debits are. And then the difference was, I guess I left it off, $84.98. So anyways, that's pretty much everything. I have a beautiful colored sheet if anybody's interested in what goes in and out of the account. If you would like to see every single debit and charge in and out of the account. And if you add this to that, it all adds up. So anyways, if you have any questions, let me know. And I just got it done today. So I'm ready to pull my hair out.
Bless it, Lord.
But it was done. Yeah, good job. Thank you.
I need a motion to accept that.
So moved.
Thank you. Hallelujah, praise the Lord. All right, opening the floor for any old business. I don't know if we have any old businesses. To my knowledge.
I don't know this falls on old business, but based on what Brooke just said, especially when you get money and you don't know what it's for, would it help to have a generic deposit form that we use for all events that we turn in with the check? It says what it is, what the money's for, maybe even on the back, list the names of the students this is for and whatnot.
The ongoing problem is no matter what kind of forms we do, and I'm just being honest, and no matter what kind of paper form or online, people just don't do it.
Yeah, I'm with you.
I will get checks in the mail with nothing with them, nothing at all.
Yeah.
And I'm supposed to magically know, like, and I'm sitting there looking, and they hadn't even filled out an online form, and I'm like, well, I guess they have this many kids going to high school and this many kids going to middle school, and you know, or you don't pay your audition fees until really late. I mean,
since we've got so many new people in our district now, maybe that's something we could do about the fall is put together, not a handbook, but like a quick little, when you turn in money, do this, when, you know, just so that everybody, old and new, knows the procedural things.
Yeah. And I know things happen and I get it. I mean, me included, we have issues where people can turn stuff in and that's fine. And most time people reach out and say, hey, Brooke, like, you know, this happened and all that. And that's fine. I'm not fussing like that. But it is frustrating on my end because I send all this stuff to the state. It's really hard to keep up with it. The ideal thing would be to have an account for each event. Like if I could have an account for just, you know, the high school band, jazz band, middle school, elementary, and then I just deposit that stuff. But checks would definitely have to be only for those certain things. And then I could just see money going in and out. But we have an account from July to July and all the money goes in and all the money goes out and I have to go through and sort it all out.
We can collect you several peanut butter jars.
Yeah, just stick it in the jars, there you go. But in all honesty, when I took over this from Kathy, you know, they didn't really even like us having a cushion. And they didn't like that we had all the multiple accounts and stuff. And so, I don't think they would ever go for that. So anyways. They never, I send it to them. They see we have a cushion, so I don't know.
Just
Sorry.
curious question, there's not like a late fee for like trading money or stuff?
Yes,
used to be
there
a
are late
secret.
fees.
Oh, okay.
But the problem with the late fees is if
They
they
can't
pay
pay
the
the
first
fee.
time, they
They
pay
can't
the late
pay
fee.
the late.
And so that's where we kind of jumped into I had to do the bad guy and talk to people. And then the next step is sending letters to principals, and I don't like being that person.
I don't either. I don't want to.
That's kind of weird to have to send a letter to your principal because you didn't pay your bills on time.
I think just overall just all of us, myself included, we just all gotta be
More rigid.
better about this, get stuff in on time, this the right way, and like I said, we'll try to come up with a quick sheet of, when you turn in money, do it this way, when you register for stuff, do it this way, when you know.
That's
Just
something we can talk
everybody.
about and figure out.
Yeah.
Especially when it comes from opposite ends, like some come from boosters, some come from bookkeepers.
Yeah.
Sometimes the bookkeepers will drag toe on it.
And it really helps too on the check, if you put down what, on the bottom where it says for in the memo, if you will write down there what it's for, you would save me so much time. That little simple thing is wonderful. I love it and that helps too when I'm going back and looking at the treasury report, because I can pull all the images of every check I deposited, and if there's a question, I can always go back and pull that check up and go, oh yeah, right here it said for, so that helps a lot.
Other old business. All right, let's move forward. New business. The only new business I have is the fact that the meeting for our fall will be Monday, August 18th at 7 p.m. We'll be both here in person, and we'll do a Zoom link if needed. I would love to have everybody in the house on that day, just so we can kind of meet each other, say hello, and see each other in person. But I understand that sometimes it's not possible. Please go ahead and put that on your calendar. This date will not change like this one did. But yeah, Monday, August 18th at 7 p.m. will be our fall meeting. Any questions, concerns about that? Food, we'll see. I promise nothing. Yeah. I would love to eat, but we'll see how it is. Who's speaking? Did you say anything? I'm sorry.
Hey Zach, it's Julie Savoy. I was gonna jump in and just give y'all a little bit of information. I took it upon myself to go meet with Nicole Cox. That is the Dean of the College of the Arts at Valdosta State. And because when we were at Region, I was getting an earful from a lot of band directors, and both my kids, can you hear me?
Hey, can we say that for the band division?
Oh gosh, I'm so sorry. Yeah, absolutely.
Make sure only band people do that. We're almost there, any other new business that I'm not aware of for the district overall? Okay, anybody online? Nope. All right, can I have a motion to adjourn to our division meeting, please?
Second.
All right, thank you so very much. This session is closed. All right, choir people, you have a breakout room. If you'll just tap on the breakout room logo in the top left-hand corner, you can be dismissed to the choir breakouts. And if you're here in person, if you'll follow Ms. Walker to the art room, you guys will have a meeting there. Thank you so very much. And we'll jump into band business. Christy couldn't be here tonight. Andy received some sort of award, and he took her as his +1, as he should, I think. But we're good. So she sent over this information and this agenda, and we'll run it through. And Julie, when we get to Region Band, there's a whole section for you and Alan to talk about. Okay?
Great, thanks so much.
Same thing tonight.
I know, right? It's the thing. All right, so any old band business, I think we just kind of talked about that. So yeah. Let's review the proposed calendar. If you're
This is the biggest part about it. LGP and All-State are the same, like the same days.
Yep.
It has March 4th through the 6th for LGP, and All-State was 5th through the 7th. We saw that in Jay's presentation, so we were like, uh-oh.
okay.
I saw a calendar. I had to make that, but I had to make that knowledge known.
Push it back a week. It's always a week after all state anyway.
Yeah, so we can also, yeah, so that may just be either a typo or a.
I mean, it says like TBD All-State, so I didn't know if it was released
Gotcha.
fully, so. Or they can repeat All-State things, get that in before we talk about the calendar. 5th to the 7th. Yeah, 5th to the 7th.
Late for All-State, usually it's the weekend before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what Jay had on his presentation.
Yeah, well, it's stacked up in a weird way this year.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think stacked up. We'll bring that to their attention.
Of course, the band is to flip along the city.
All right, I'm gonna post the calendar. Hope breakout logo should be in the top left-hand corner, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. All right. I'm gonna post the calendar into the chat for those of you who are joining online. Give me 1 second. I'm usually the guy who does this away from this, but yeah. Band calendar.
Should congratulate all our new babies.
All right. Oh, babies. All right. So let's kind of run down these dates and we can kind of fix what we need to as we go. Again, August 18th is our fall planning meeting here. I'll be taking care of organizing that. I'll say Jazz has TBD as far as the to be determined. I guess we'll talk about that in May. We'll get there. Next up, September 27th is the Rebel Regiment Showcase. Alex is not here.
It's on October 4th, actually. Yeah.
October 4th?
Yeah, that changed.
Okay. Yep, it's the same day. Okay. So then September 27th, also VSU Band Day at North State University. Dr. Scott Holmes will be here for that. All-State Jazz auditions, Mr. Leith, any?
No, I mean, until the process will be the same. They'll have to release a A2. We will submit, we'll do a first round in person, and then there'll be a second round video submission.
Okay. All right, and then October 4th will be Sound of Silver, McCoy. Okay, sorry.
I have nothing.
Yeah, but he's like, I have nothing for you. All right, good deal. Also, the applications is TBD as well. Let's see what you got there. October 18th is a new marching festival out of Brunswick. Mr. John Burge will be doing that. Do you know if you talked to Johnny about that? No, I'm sorry. You're just smiling at me. He asked me just to tell you that date, and he has a website set up that'll be coming out soon. So
The core people said the break room's not showing up.
It's not showing up. Okay. Noah, will you continue with this while I fix their problem? Just read the dates if it's fine. Thank you.
All-state band, does anybody know? Okay, nope, okay. October the 18th, that on the border, anybody from Valdosta State, I mean, Lounge, want to talk on that? Okay. Andrew, October 25th. As usual. Yep. Cool. November 1st, Deep South Classic. Is there either? LGBTQ application deadline. Anybody know what that is? Mr. Leaf again. District Jazz.
District Jazz is gonna be similar to last year. There's gonna be a A2 that we'll plan to use the All-State A2 and video submission.
December the 6th, we have middle school All-State at Ware Middle. Mitch Richardson, any updates on that? Season on time. Midfest, UGA, high school All-State auditions are December the 13th. Mr. Bennett, any updates? Get your fees in on time. Midwest, I went for the first time this past year, loved it.
Jeff Grant is, I think.
Yeah, he's presenting this year.
I think he's doing
Same
it.
thing he's presenting.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the same thing at GBA.
District data.
Ooh, that's great. I think Kat's presenting too.
I think she is.
On some rural band stuff. All right, the All-State auditions, final round, Union Grove, 10th, Jan Fest, the 15th to 17th. Do we have an inclement weather date? I guess it'd be the week after again. And it's gonna conflict with Jan Fest again. So go ahead and write that down. If you don't, it's probably gonna conflict. And they won't move it because UGA owns the immediate. All right, Mr. Williams, we are at the middle school honor band clinician.
All right. So yeah, first of all, we had a lot of fun times with middle school honor band last year. We had a snowstorm. And had to move the date completely. So that kind of brought up a few new questions for middle school people. I think we enjoyed having it at Ware High School. It's a nice facility, I get it, it's right there. In speaking with the directors at Ware High School, I go there. If we were to do it again, it works best for them if we do it the week of the Lake Arts Band Festival because the rooms are already set up. Which would move that event to February the be the 21st.
20th and 21st.
Yeah, 21st. If we want to wait that long. Otherwise,
I mean, if you don't, that doesn't mean that you couldn't still do it at the high school.
Yeah.
We would just have to do everything once.
Right. So
it's a little bit warmer
yeah.
for your outdoor activities that what he's talking about.
But my other question is, has it always been this early, January 23rd?
So several years ago, I don't know how many, but we used to flip flop all around. Whenever Epworth was available to dictate a lot of it. And then we got it set in stone for a while. The first weekend in February was middle school, second weekend was high school. And that worked fine until GMEA moved the in-service conference.
Gotcha.
And so when that got moved back, because like that weekend, that 23rd, 24th, that used to be when conference was all the time.
Gotcha.
And so that's what's kind of thrown.
Okay.
The other thing was that break, President's Weekend break in there too.
Yeah.
It falls lots of times on that.
So, I mean, if I was going to speak as a middle school person, I like having it where high. I thought this past year was great with the Woody Stock Putt and all that. And so I think that late into February is a little late. But if that's what we have to do to keep this year the way it was, so be it. That's my 2 cents.
Mr. Green, does that January 23rd date work for y'all?
As far as I know. I mean, I don't see why it would. There's nothing going on in the audit, in the packet I can think of. I mean, shouldn't be until we confirm
Right.
officially. But
Okay.
yeah.
And again, we'll have to revisit this at the fall meeting, so, just wanna leave it there for now, January 23rd.
And I won't complain until the day of.
But, well, hold on though. I mean, would you prefer the February 20th, 21st?
I mean, I think.
Definitely.
I mean, you're the
I mean,
host,
it's
so
a
you
lot
can
of,
do it.
it is, I think it's a lot of work all at the same time,
Yes.
but it is all at the same time, so instead of doing something twice, you do it once. Yes. The thing is.
He's like, yes.
The thing is, the choir room is already set up with all the chairs for warm-ups. I mean, everything's already set up, the choir's already using the banner for rehearsal, like, instead of having to do that twice, we can do it once, as long as, I mean, a lot of people come to Waycross Band Festival, as long as coming to Waycross twice in the same week, as far as travel and buses and everything else. But for us, yes, that 1 week is better.
I mean, do we already have clinicians for the?
No, that's nothing.
Wait, yeah, yes, whatever you want.
All right,
If
so
we do then I.
middle schools, we're thinking February 20th, 21st for middle school honor band.
Say that again, Zach.
February 20th and 21st for middle school honor band to be held at Blair County High School. People online, are you still with us? We're good? You hearing everything? Okay. All right, thank you. Just want to be sure because technology is great. All right. Any further discussion about that? Those dates, we're good there? All right, moving on. GBA in service, January 29th to 31st in Athens. I wanted to do something this year as far as like a GBA meet and greet or kind of hangout session. But everything was kind of booked. So I guess if I start early on that, maybe we have a night that we all just kind of get together, hang out, eat, or do something, go somewhere, something fun.
The cool people.
The foundry.
The cool people
Yeah.
figured out how to do that last year anyway.
Yeah, I mean, it's just one of those things. But I kind of like for us to have a district thing, and also, I didn't know if this was even possible to maybe like reserve a block of rooms for the district, like this is the hotel, and then. I just popped my head. I'm just trying to.
And I'll order matching t-shirt.
We get,
Yes.
I get some bright t-shirts, I
We'll
can
wear
get
some
y'all.
white lie shirts.
Yes, but this is just ideas.
High vis trip shirts.
Moving right along, we're still
Anything but a
waiting
coat.
on
We'll keep our Airbnb.
the solo ensemble of this, application dates, we're waiting on that. February 5th to the 7th is the high school honor band at Duckworth, Mr. Duke.
Oh, crap. Yes, 5 to 7,
Uh-huh.
Worth. Yes.
And we haven't got permissions for that yet.
Dr. Corey Spurlin for 11-12, we are gonna have to adjust to 9-10.
Say that again.
Corey Spurlin, Dr. Corey Spurlin from Auburn University.
Okay.
Will be 11-12. I need to get 9-10 because of our conflict with the Dr. Daniels.
However your plans are.
Steve studies Santa Claus.
All right. Moving on, we got February 18th through 19th is the Wake Up Band Festival at Ware County High School. Bennett, anything you say? All right.
It's right after President's Day holiday.
Yeah. All right. All-state band, says TBA, school Athens, we'll get all that worked out. March 4th through 6th, band LGPE, those 2 dates, we gotta check on those to make sure we're not on top of each other.
So it says on the state calendar that the all-state is March 5th through 7th.
It is March
Yes,
5th.
yeah.
Yeah. So do we need to
I'm gonna
move?
assume LGP would be the 11th through 13th.
Yeah. I'm gonna assume it's gonna be.
When's LGB, or, choral LGB? Is that normally their week?
It'll be the next week. It's usually around the 15th, 17th.
Okay.
So all-state is the 5th to 7th, so we need to work on.
Go ahead and text Christie let her know. She's gonna have
Yeah,
to-
she's gonna freak out.
She
Uh,
said she is going to coffee this year.
So we're thinking 10 to 12.
11 through 13, we're gonna move to.
Yeah, sorry. Go to 13.
This is tentative or is
This is tentative right now, and I talked to Christie, make sure that they can post these dates.
What are those dates?
Christie just told me they're thinking about moving it to coffee. Christie just told me.
Oh, well. Mr. Myers,
Hola.
I heard a rumor. You and Christie have talked about moving LGPE to coffee?
That was a lie. Now,
Chorus, not
Oh, sorry, chorus, my bad,
Yeah.
chorus.
Chorus, not
Oh.
band.
yeah, okay. Now the chorus part of it, we did actually purchase a Steinway, a very old but very good Steinway piano. So we could host the choral event, and because we didn't have a real piano, we had everything was electric, digital, whatever. But we have a real acoustic piano now, so they could and they would like to host choral festival.
Okay, all right.
How's that going to fall related to our All-State / LGPE conflict?
I could talk to Christie about the 11th through the 13th. She's not here tonight.
Right. See.
Board and shoot with him. But I might need to make sure they can host that 11 through 13 of March.
Yes, sir.
And as soon as I get a text back from her, I'll let us know. Do you have another option for us?
Well, several folks probably have a similar thing that they encounter with their children that are involved in some of the alphabet, groups. FBLA, FBLA, all that nonsense. And I've got folks that are on state boards and all that, and they're trying to work out going to festival with us and doing what they should do because band's first. But trying to accommodate that, I was looking at the possibility of not knowing for sure what Christie's going to be able to do, of maybe doing a small number of bands Tuesday evening. And that way I could get all of my folks that want to do all the other things done. And, the judges, they really don't care because they get paid by the hour. Now they're going to have to go somewhere and stay overnight before they start first thing, the next morning anyway. So just an option to look at. The problem is that once, the Valdosta folks and some of the folks that live further away, everybody, when they find out there's an opportunity to come a little closer, they would like to take the short trip. And not many folks want to play in the evenings. But for me, that solves all of the problems if we could do something in the evening, because I can get the gym to warm up and we can sight read in the band room and I don't have to worry about moving anybody. It's pretty easy. So just file that back for what it's worth. I'm not trying to start some controversy, but if folks are interested, whatever number of slots we can do and the judges still drive to get a decent night of sleep before they see that first group Wednesday morning, I would be happy to have some folks in Tuesday evening as just a working option, but I'm not trying to talk anybody into anything. Just trying to look out for an option for my kids.
Thank you, sir.
Can you ask what's the earliest time you could go Tuesday evening? That's actually not a bad idea. What's the earliest block on Tuesday evening?
Probably starting at 4 in the afternoon. Again, the folks that would be coming would, it's a mixed bag. Buses, transportation has just been horrendous for us. And this would, we used to do a lot of stuff later in the day and then we got away from that. But it sure would solve a lot of busing issues as far as people being able to get a bus to come around the time school is out or taken in the mornings. It might help.
Any other questions for Steve? All right, thank you, sir. We'll be in touch.
Bless you. Y'all do what you do.
Thank you. All right, South Georgia Percussion Festival.
I have a TBD on that. Mr. Lee, do you have a?
Yeah, I think that that's probably gonna take place like 2 days sooner next year, so the Wednesday. Please scan forward to tell you that's gonna be the 25th, most likely, March 25th.
That's a Wednesday? So we've got March 25th for the South Georgia Concession Festival, that's at Cannon High.
Yes.
All right, April 9 through 10 is the District Jazz Honor Band. And then we have April 10 through 12 as South Georgia Region Band, but we're not sure about that location.
So that would be
Jazz
actually the
band's still
9
gonna
through
be
11.
that high?
It's determined by what region band does. If region band leaves BSU, it's very possible. It's possible that they want to move District Jazz up into February, which is already tight with the schedule, but I think that Mr. Springfield, he traditionally is gonna have a jazz concert in February. And so
We lost you. What is Albert doing?
Hey, what did I do?
The meeting went away and you're full screen now. I don't know. But you look good.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna text
Oh, my
Zach
wife
real
called
quick
me.
and let
I'm
him
sorry.
know. Let's see.
What happened?
Oh, we lost the meeting.
But you're famous.
What did, what? Oh my God. What happened?
There we are.
There we are.
I don't think they can hear us, but we're back.
Hey.
All right. I think we're back to where we're supposed to be.
Hey, everybody.
Hey.
Okay, I'm sorry, whatever happened.
I just had to move the mouse on the projection, obviously. All right, so we're back at.
One thing Monica said was the dates for Region Honor Band. If that would go through Thursday through Sunday.
Yeah, I think
So it's 9, yeah.
I didn't make this
Great
calendar.
practice.
I'm reading.
So April 10th, 9 through 11.
Yeah, it'd be the Thursday, Friday, Saturday. And jazz is what, Tuesday, Wednesday?
Wednesday, Thursday.
Wednesday, Thursday.
All right, so District Jazz should be 8-9.
Yeah.
And then South Georgia Region Band should be 9 through 11. And we'll get this reorganized and recredited and everything like that. All right, I have April 27th as our spring planning meeting to be held here. Any objections to that? All right. Which I'm not sure why that date jumps up that far. Solo Ensemble is going to be April 18th. Mr. Lee.
We got an offer to have a meeting in Glen Academy.
All right, and I'm still anything about Solo Ensemble.
No, everything's
All right. Good deal. And then April 24th will be 6th grade honor band at 2 locations again. At Ware Middle, Camden High. We'll talk about that little section in just a minute. And that's the calendar. I will check on dates again for this all-state LGBTE conflict. And I'll get this updated and sent out to everybody. Christy. All right. The next thing on her list, it says to do recaps of all our events. If you have something to say when I call your event, please say so. If you don't, just wave at us and we'll keep moving. Okay? All right, so, District Jazz, Mr. Lees, anything to say about what happened this year?
Everything went great. We had a great clinician, Dr. Matt Letter. He, brought a lot of, New Orleans influence, background, and he learned a lot about improv, and, everybody had great experience as far as I understand. Our Mr. Springfield is in charge of clinicians each year, so he'll have that information, shortly before, the event.
All right. Next up, Little School Honor Band, Mr. Richardson.
I was talking to Christie, she was saying March 5th or 12th for their LGPE, and I was just telling her.
March 5th or 12th?
That's probably not gonna work.
That still don't work.
She's gonna have to go back up within the week. to
Yeah,
work out.
sorry. Yeah, I said band's gonna have to move theirs, so choral's gonna have to move theirs. She just said, why can't we keep the 12th?
That is what we said. Didn't we just decide?
We just said March 11th through 13th, right?
For band, yeah.
For band, yeah.
If she's at coffee, she could do it as well.
Yeah.
You can do it whenever she wants to. Unless you like her, when you do both.
Yeah.
But he can do both. He can do one day in the band, and the other day.
I'm out next year.
Negotiation.
He pulled that plug.
Yeah. Okay.
I just said we'll chat later. Sorry. Okay, middle school. Did everybody like having the 3 meals and the dinners and
Absolutely,
Ms.
yes.
Gibson doing all that? And
Lots of big bags.
Okay.
Yes, yes, that is the key.
Sue cooked for us.
Oh, yeah, oh, yeah,
Yeah.
All that food.
All the
Yeah.
food, yes.
Yep.
So on that, what do we need to do?
Yes.
next year and not be in the hole on that one? You said we're in the hole on it.
That's something we had to move the event because we
lost
lost
money.
money on hotel rooms because we couldn't cancel until we knew the snow was not gonna
Yeah.
melt. Yeah, having to do the whole event, to, it was crazy. And we looked up that it still worked out. So, yeah.
And for the most part, we were able to keep most of the food. Like she had already bought all the
Yeah.
food and then all that. So there was a little bit of
There was
difference
some
there.
music gods that play there that helped all that work out. So, and I appreciate you guys being so patient, just trying to move a complete event with everybody's best interest at heart. And find an open day.
Yeah.
Because February was packed, like Logan said, it's always packed, so.
And according to where the clinicians come from too, that always makes a difference. So that's not a huge deficit that's in there. That's kind of.
And I think we kind of ended up, even though we went in, I
Yeah.
think we're still good. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
So.
Yeah.
All right, moving to high school.
Can I ask one more
I'm sorry,
question?
go ahead.
I'm sorry. Do we want to go back to the public place next year or?
Yes.
just keep the same? Okay. So I can go ahead and once we. All right.
Yeah, all right, well, good.
Good
Hey,
deal.
they gotta throw paint at each other.
They have a,
Oh,
they have
yeah.
a rage room
They have a
now.
rage room. Yeah.
That's for the director.
Director's over there. All right, awesome, moving along. High school district band, Snoop, any recaps or anything like that for us?
I didn't get any complaints, so if you didn't like it, complain. But I thought it went well, we're in a situation right now, where we're bringing in cash. We need to decide how we want to utilize that benefit. We want to, get a piece written, we want to look at some ridiculously priced clinician to come in and perform and work with us. I mean, we're in a plus situation right now, so that's a good thing. But you might as well utilize that for kids' benefit. I can think of things you like to look at. I think we're paying $12.50 right now for honorariums. I don't know if that's good or bad or different, but we did just push it up a few years ago to that number. So I'm assuming that number's good. But like I said, we're in a good place right now with that. So.
I ran into Jeff Klubal the other day and he said he would love to come back and do one of our honor bands one day. He said, keep him in mind. So I told him I'd pass it on.
I don't know if this question has been answered. Do we have a District 8 scholarship? Is that a thing? Have we ever talked about doing something like that? Like a high school student in our district apply and receive a
Knowledge.
scholarship for District 8?
I'm not that I've ever, as long as I've been doing this account, I've never seen one.
To my knowledge.
I just did, when you said do something, I thought.
Go ahead. I mean, have a high school student.
That would just be something we need to run through Jimmy A. and
Yeah, that'd
see.
have to go through the state.
I've never done
Write it up.
Yeah.
We'll be happy to see that.
Yeah, we can ask.
Anything else we should do? In there?
No, I think everything's fine. I'll get prices for you guys.
All right,
Well, I
we
just
can-
have prices. I'm gonna work a little bit, we always do. Let me just say this, if you are staying, on campus in the cabins, everything's as normal. If you're staying on the campus in the hotels, then I'm out of that. I'm not gonna have anything to do with that when it comes to what you're getting charged or anything like that, which is fine, I have no problem with that. But I'm only doing cabins when it comes to fees, and then if you are happen to stay off campus, they will charge a usage fee for the facilities that they're gonna get there. Because basically, I think I said before, Epworth makes their money off of the food they serve you. They're charging you for the food. And that's how they pay for what they're doing. They give us the facilities based off us paying them for their food. And you get to happen to stay in the cabin for the reward for that. So off-campus folks, there's a fee for that. We go back to them to keep them from charging us even more money to stay in cabins. That's what that is. But if you stay on campus in a hotel, which is perfectly fine, just realize that that's something you have to do straight through Epworth and not through me. I can't bill you for that. Just something to be aware of, which is fine. It's not a problem at all. It's just not my responsibility. And I guess when I send you a bill, just make a copy and make sure Brooke gets it. When you pay your stuff.
All right,
Actually, you know what? Let me mention that. So
Okay.
let's just go ahead and talk about that, because we do have sometimes issues with payments coming in too late and whatnot. This is something that's important because we do want to make sure that we do pay our bills. We are in good shape right now with the situation, because it makes it easier for folks to pay bills. But I mean, if we need to start putting down more solid deadlines and that kind of stuff, we can. I just want to make sure that everybody's responsible for just turning those things in on time. I get it, we're all band directors, we all have things are busy, but just make it a priority to put that in the mail. I do send out a ton of please fill out thises each December and January, to the point when probably you're exhausted to see them. But that's literally because the only person that's turning anything in is Appling County, and everybody else is still waiting to get their stuff. You know, it's just, it takes time to get you guys a response sometimes. And I know you're wanting to wait to make sure this and the other, I totally get it, but we can change that stuff, just stuff turn in and get things moving. And thanks for turning yourself.
I asked that.
Oh. There you go.
Here we
That's all I
go.
got.
All right, moving.
I said I'm trying to start fighting.
This is the one that got fun.
All right, Region Man, Mr. Alavendo.
All right, we'll make this short and sweet. So for those of y'all who aren't aware,
No, I'm just kidding. Keep going. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Hey,
I'm sorry.
Get him, Bishop, get him.
thank you, Dr. Poston. Now, Region Band this year had some issues. A lot of those were not because of any of the actual regions participating. It was the hosting site. We won't, if you want to know more details, I can talk to you later. We'll get into that now. VSU expressed to Grace Mullis they don't want to host it anymore moving forward. And so finding a new site, finding dates, it doesn't matter when you do it, it's going to follow somebody's spring break. I agree, it would be nice if it didn't follow your spring break every year, but it's going to follow your spring break sometimes. There's absolutely no way to avoid spring breaks when you're doing an event that time of year. You can't really move it later, it gets into testing. You can't really move it earlier, it gets into LGPE and all that. So that's that thing. So what we have here are some proposals and whatnot, talk about, but first is, Natalie wanna.
Hey, Julie, are you ready?
Yeah, sorry. Let me first open with apologizing. I don't know if any of you guys are like me and have complete brain fog going on at this time of the year. I knew when I was supposed to bring that up, but I just wasn't even thinking. So I apologize for that.
No problem, no problem.
So I was just saying that I both my kids attend VSU, and so I happen to have a lot of the ear of VSU, and I don't know if and I didn't get, I mean, I haven't talked to Grayson or anything like that, but my philosophy on that is I want my children, like my personal children that I birthed, to have good players play with them at their university. And I think that Region Honor Band is, well, this year for sure was a missed opportunity by VSU to do some heavy recruiting on several fronts, right? Like you know, the programming of their concerts, the playability of their concerts, things of that nature. But I do think that if that event ever is in the future hosted at Valdosta State, I don't see any reason why directors that are either living in Valdosta or at least District 8 directors weren't able to, you know, help with that. And I think a lot of it was, I know for me personally, I didn't know and I wasn't asked. And a lot of the things were tasked to the college students who knew less than me, you know. So I don't know if that is a conversation, but I did want to let you all know that I did have a meeting with the College of the Arts dean just to express some of our disappointment with how the event went down and to see, you know, and she's like, well, we don't want to bury the hatchet yet. We want to keep things open. And she was not aware that VSU had already declined to host again. So I think she would like to still let that door be open for in the future, maybe not next year. I don't know what the plans are with that so far. But I think that and all I did was praise all of the directors in District 8 because collectively as a group, we do great things when we do it together instead of somebody trying to be on an island by themselves. So that was just my 2 cents. And like I said, I just wanted to let you all know that I kind of bent the ear of the dean of the university. So that's kind of really it. I would be willing to throw my hat in to help organize or run things. I know I've talked to Joy and Johnny. They would like to be involved in it. If District 8 directors were able to kind of adopt that thing, but I don't know how all the ins and the outs of how it being a region thing and how, you know, again, I'm just sort of somebody just sort of speaking some concern about, you know, what a great opportunity it is for Valdosta and for Valdosta State. And I'm an alum, you know, I mean, I want my university to look good, but I know I can't do that by myself, obviously. But I want to help out with it. So that was just my piece. That's all.
So yeah, I think a lot of the thing with the region, before we had our big meeting at the event, the committee had a meeting to discuss some stuff beforehand. And in that meeting, it came out that, you know, before when Joe Brazier was doing it, he did everything. And then when it got passed to Ben Harper, he did a lot of what Joe was doing, kind of changed stuff to his life and whatnot, still diving Dylan. When it got moved to Dr. Holmes, that's where the drop off was. There was a lot of stuff she didn't know that had been done in the past. A lot of things fell through the cracks. So I think a lot of the stuff, like Julie was saying, stuff that the directors ourselves can take over and not have VSU in charge of would help a lot with that. We are going to have a separate account, and all the money's going to run through that account. That'll pay for the clinicians and whatnot. Leah Williams up in one Rob's going to head that up north. We're going to oversee picking out the clinicians. We're going to oversee the schedule. We're going to all we want BSU to give business to BSU is to provide the facilities and the equipment. That would be the I think maybe more discussions with Valdosta State and whatnot. Get that. They said it was a logistical issue for them, is why they weren't interested. But again, there's not a logistical issue if you just say we just need space.
There was definitely Dr. Holt's messaged me on numerous occasions about different items that she didn't know either who to contact with or didn't know the people she was contacting, if they would respond in a timely
Yeah,
manner.
and I don't know what all
Yeah.
went on there, but I mean, obviously Grayson is the main contact. And he was not contacted about a lot of things. But then at the same time, he also didn't pass that on to the rest of the committee or the rest of the directors to say, hey, can you help with this stuff? So I think there are enough people between 3 districts, we can help with stuff, just let us know what the things are.
I would say
that
that
was-
each district could be in charge of something.
Yeah.
Like district.
And a lot of the students were more open to them and other faculty that I talked to that weekend too. They were more open to the fact that if they were more of a just host site rather than the people running the whole thing, they would be more down to do more in addition, while other directors in the area came in and helped out with
And that's
set up.
leading towards,
Yeah.
If y'all
percussion,
just set
stuff
it
like
up, we don't need y'all around. Cause I mean, the college students, just to be honest, no offense, but they just haven't been that big of a help in a couple of years with use that. They don't really know what's going on. All right, so here's the proposals that they want us to vote on tonight, and then me and Jonathan can bring it up with the, which, by the way, if you don't know, me and Jonathan are your representatives for the Region Bank Committee. So if you ever have anything, region concerns or whatnot, let us know. At this particular meeting, there was not a lot the district brought, because I hadn't heard from many of y'all of concerns and whatnot, a few, but not really. Apparently District 2 particularly had a laundry list of stuff, but that's fine. If y'all got concerns, let us know. That's what we're trying to do with the committee, is take more control of the event instead of it being run by college. But here's the proposals. We're going to vote on each one of these, and that'll let us know what to report back.
Can I throw something there right
Sure.
before you go into that? I reached out to Alita and then also to Alan Fowler about having it in Tifton at the UGA Center there, the Convention Center, which is where they also have the 6th grade choral event. And it's a huge, huge facility with lots of extra rooms. I mean, it's super nice. Just as a plan B, just saying that maybe if y'all could talk about it. So he emailed me back and said like, he didn't know the exact cost, but he gave me, and I can send this to you, the contact of who you would reach out to. He's like, as I recall, compared to the other venues, the actual venue and staff costs were reasonable, so there would be costs.
Is that what used to be Norman Park back in the day, or?
No, it is like close to where ABAC is. It's on the ABAC campus, but it's a civic center ran by UGA.
Okay.
And it's huge. This is where Jamie had his ZZ Top concert. So, I mean, it's a huge facility. But he said the challenge for us was that they do not have pianos or risers, which was for choral. So they did have to rent that. So that drove up the cost. But other than that, the cost was pretty good. So anyway, it's just something about, but it has tons of extra conference rooms and different things like that.
I'll tell you where the location change sits right now. VSU has said we would prefer not to host it next year. That might change, but that's where it is right now. People have thrown out doing it at Lowndes High. People have thrown out. People have thrown out doing it at Valdosta High, their old Performing Arts Center. People have talked about Tifton. People have talked about Mercer. Any of these are viable options. I can tell you what Grayson needs is somebody to say, we can do it these dates. We will do it. I'll be in charge. I will host it. Done. And until that happens, it's all just out there. So that's what he needs is a confirmed host. If it's not going to be hosted in VSU, then where's it going to be and who's going to host it and what dates can they do with that? So
my thoughts were maybe David Bradley got on board with the ABAC.
Yeah.
But it would still include a cost on that. So anyways, go ahead. But
all right. So proposal number 1. A lot of this has to do with people being responsible, getting things turned in on time, that kind of thing. If a director has a student auditioning for region band at the 2nd round, they must be available to judge or find a suitable replacement. This must be accepted by the region band committee prior to the judging announcements. They're just needing more people to judge. Just like with Allstate, they're saying if you submit students, then you need to be willing to judge. And that would apply to head directors, assistant directors, everyone. In the past, it's been, he just simply asks who wants to help judge. We're not doing that anymore. If you get picked to judge, you have to be willing to judge.
So that is open to assistants, not just the person who signed them up.
Yes.
Okay, because like for me, when I got that email in the fall about who wants to judge, I didn't know if I was required and or wanted as an assistant, even though it was like, I'm not the head. of any of the
I can tell you,
schools.
anytime you want to help judge something, they will take it.
Okay. That was a question.
I think
They will never turn down
the
judges.
requirement goes back to whoever signed the personnel originally.
Yeah.
You know, and that person, that person can volunteer as an assistant, but I think the requirement would stand for the person that's in the name originally.
Okay? Do you want to lead the vote or? I mean, okay, so in favor, raise a hand.
Are we voting online still, not in person?
There's a raise.
I didn't know there wasn't online vote. Is
No,
there?
no, no, I'm sorry, not voting, judging. Is the judging still gonna be on online videos? 'Cause wasn't there
Yes,
a
this is
judging?
judge, yes, this is judging.
Okay, sorry.
This is online video judging, let's read that. So in favor again? Anyone opposed? All right, proposal number 2. Directors are given ample amount of time to judge the audition video recordings with easy access to all the files. If a director does not fulfill their responsibility in the given deadline, their students will be disqualified from the second round auditions. Let me clarify. That is dependent upon what reasonable amount of time is. That will be laid out in the fall, is my understanding. They will say the the auditions will be available by this date. Judging scores are due back by this date. Week, 2 weeks, I don't know what that time will be, but that's what we're agreeing to. So we're kind of agreeing not to the time, we're agreeing to the process, assuming the time is reasonable. Okay? This year, one reason why the final results were so late is because there were panels that simply did not get their scores back. Some people just flat out didn't do their judging. So they're saying if that happens, if you are picked to judge and you don't find a replacement and don't send your scores back, your kids will not be eligible for Region Band that year. Any questions?
Now, like John was saying, does that fall back on the person who registered?
So I'm guessing so. It'd be like Allstate, person registering.
But what happens if an assistant doesn't fulfill their portion of it and they volunteered or whatever? How is that going to
I guess it would be the person on the registration, whoever's name's on the registration. I would say if it's in any way connected to a school you're part of, make sure your stuff's in.
That'll probably be something to get it right in when we go into that.
John, one of my concerns would be that should cause less people to want to judge if they have those consequences.
Part of that. That's why you don't have the option to pick your picks.
How would you?
It'd be like the way GBA does it for all states. Like you'll look through all 3 districts, pick the names, and we need you to judge. And at that point, and I would assume Grayson and the committee whatnot would be very reasonable that if you say, I've got this going on, I can't do it, we would help you find a replacement on that. What it's basically doing is saying, we need something to hang over people so they can't just completely drop the ball and not do their responsibility.
Yeah, that's all it is.
All right, any other discussion with that? All right, in favor of that? Anyone opposed? Okay. All right, proposal number 3. The website and Google form for submissions would have the following statement included. The Google form would require directors to check the box stating that they agree. Directors who register, this is the statement. Directors who register students for Region Band must be available to judge the second round if their students score at or above the cutoff score. Directors who have a conflict must find a suitable replacement at the discretion of the Region Band Committee. Directors who fail to fulfill their judging requirement in a timely manner will have their students disqualified from being accepted into the band. So basically, that's just saying everything we just voted on will be put in writing on the registration. You'll check that, to say you agree to it.
Is there a reason they couldn't go ahead and put down your preferred area as well? Just knock it all out in one swoop?
I can bring that up. It's like, you're,
It's always asked for whatever, unless they just don't do that. Makes sense, just go and get it done.
Okay, any other discussion? All right, all in favor of proposal 3? All opposed? Okay. All right, proposal number 4. So there's been, this is one that we kind of discussed briefly at the meeting. There's been people that want to do away with the video submissions. They like doing the GMA scores. There's the other side that doesn't like the GMA scores because they don't want kids have to go all the way to McDonough just to try out for region band. And they don't like their kids having to learn the technical A2 because they feel that puts it far out of the reach for some students, particularly younger students. Then there's some that say we should use GMA every year. Some say not. So we're trying to find what helps. There's also people that say that all these videos recording is very stressful for the students. And there's people that say that for the directors, having to record all these videos and submit them all is creating a lot of burden on them. Yes. Now, a lot of the burden, I will say, tends to be from the people who wait till the last weekend before it's due to turn it all in. If you do stuff early on, it's not much of a burden, but to each his own. So in an effort to try to alleviate as many of those as we can in one fell swoop, we're looking at changing the audition process somewhat. Proposal: students will continue to pay a $10 registration fee to audition for the Region Honor Band. Scores from the first round of the GMA All-State auditions will be used to determine which students qualify for the Region Band audition by scoring higher than established minimum scores for each instrument. That's the same as what we've already been doing. Students who achieve the qualifying score and have already registered for Region Band will record their lyrical etude in December. So if you score high enough in the first round and you already registered for Region Band back in September, go ahead and record your lyrical etude right then in December so it's not holding it on after Christmas. Yes. Videos, which is now just 1 per student instead of 2 or 3, will be uploaded in January to be adjudicated by the Region Band judges. The Region Band roster will be released indicating which students are selected for the Region Band. However, this roster will not contain a chair order. We will follow the same acceptance cancellation procedures as usual, and additional students may be selected from the first round scores to fill out each band. On the first day of the Region Band event, all students who are selected for Region Band will complete their Region Band audition by playing a short sight reading exercise in person. This part of the audition will be used solely to determine chair order. No students will be removed from Region Band due to a poor performance on the sight reading. The final chair order results will be announced when the bands are seated at the beginning of the first rehearsal. Music folders and part assignments will be given out at that time.
I have to point out the irony that we can't get people to judge, and we're gonna add more judging to the event.
So what this is doing is saying, if you don't like having to send in 3 videos per student, then now you just have to send in 1 video per student. If you are part of the camp that's saying we don't like the quick study because it's not really testing sight reading, well, we're getting rid of that. We're adding sight reading back to the audition. If you are the one that wants to put more of the process back in the hands of the students, so it's not so much what the director does in recording the video, but what the student does in the actual audition, well, this adds in-person audition back to that.
We're still, now we're talking about doing two things. We're still having a video submitted, then you have to get there and judge. I'm probably the only person in this room that remembers when District 8 had the all-come band, all showed up, and you had to judge when you got there. I didn't judge it, but I was playing it. It doesn't, it doesn't work well, because then you factor in, all right, so how do you deal with the bus that shows up late, the kids that got there late, and you're waiting to score them, you're waiting, holding up the process to score these kids.
Well, even
That's
with
a
everybody showing up.
logistical, it's a logistical nightmare.
Even with
We
everybody
gotta
showing up.
quit trying to reinvent the wheel.
And that's the same thing saying, what happens if some of these smaller schools who have a high school and middle school, like they're right, it's the same, or their assistant might not come to region, and now you had 3 judges possibly judging the videos, and now it's cut down to 1 because they're the only one that came to region.
Well, also, not for nothing, now instead of just trying to find a venue that you can have 3 concert bands practicing, you gotta find a venue that can also house X number of rooms for a sight reading audition, which I don't know if anybody's actually factored the amount of time that it would take to audition that many people, even only on one sight reading thing, it's still gonna take you 2 minutes. For them to come in, times however many, that's multiple times that you don't really have.
It's a logistical nightmare.
And you have to have
And you're
area
basing,
for staging
you're
to
basing
get
an
warmed
entire
up.
region band worth of kids, chair placement on 12 measures. Instead of just judging 2 videos in your pajamas on your couch.
And what's the difference? A couple of chair spots, maybe? If the kids can play, they can play.
And also, the complaint is that they don't feel like their kid, or we don't feel like our kids can learn the technical etude or whatever we're sending them. The kids that are already learning how to play that and getting top chairs are gonna be the ones that are getting the sight reading and getting top chairs. So, no. I think it makes way more work.
I think that having December be the lyrical video due, or the January due date for the lyrical, recorded in December, and then the quick study later will separate some of those, I'm here until midnight recording videos for Sunday school.
If the director do it.
If they do that. If not, it's the onus then goes back on the students of have your video in a proper time.
The number 1 complaint we had this year from all the districts, including ours, in fact, this is the only one I had from our district, was the complaints about the number of videos people had to upload. That was the number 1 complaint. Directors are saying, we don't like that, because if you're sending 30+ kids, you're having to upload 90+ videos.
I'm trying to remember, I believe high school results don't tend to get there until right before the break, but I may be wrong about that. Is that accurate?
Go ahead.
The results. First one.
Get
Is it right there at break?
turnaround time for your school. I sent everybody all their stuff the night of.
Is it? I messed with the region band, said it's part of it.
I honestly can't remember, but I know this year, like I sent everybody a recap of their scores the same night that I sent out the rosters, which was the day of. And it was kind of on each individual director, look at their scores on the recap and see, yeah, it was the all-state scores, but you would look at your kid's individual score and know, oh, they made a 70 there, they made the region band cut. I didn't actually send out a separate region band thing to any of the directors. I just sent y'all a score recap of your kids and you just had to share out who made the cut.
So they did
All right.
state targets.
So keeping us on track, 'cause it's already getting late. That is the proposal, okay? It's trying to, there's parts of it I like, parts of it I don't like. It's trying to appease as many people as we can. Okay, so let's vote on it, then I'll say my final word on it. So do I need to read it again, or everybody understand?
Yeah, can you read it again?
Basically, students will continue to pay $10 registration fee for region band. Your first round scores will be used to determine if you qualify to audition for region band. If you determine to qualify, then you record just one video, which is a lyrical etude in December. That one video per student is uploaded in January, judged online by the region band judges. The list is given out. Here's who made region band based on that one video. But there's no chair order because there hasn't been any sight reading yet. You come early, so like the first rehearsal is at 7, you get there like 4 o'clock or so. Do the sight reading, a short little sight reading, that's the only part of the audition you do on site. No one will not make it based on sight reading, that'll just determine chair order. And so that way it's kind of a hybrid video, but also in person. Just so you know, there it is.
So you only need 19 rooms to do all three bands, middle school, because we're combining some of the smaller ones in sight reading. So you only need 19 rooms and 19 judges per se. So as far as logistics, that's how much that's been figured out. That's about the only thing that's been figured out by this point, but about 19 rooms. So if you have classrooms in the school or something like that, that should be feasible. But that's the proposal. So in favor of that, raise your hand. Opposed? All right. Here's my final call on region band. Everybody complains every year about region band. But there's not any proposals to provide solutions. Proposals that come down don't get favored. So if you have concerns, we have this committee now. If you have concerns, put a proposal together, send it to me, send it to Jonathan, send it to somebody, and we'll look it up. If you have the solution, let us know. But just as people complain about, we don't like doing, like the logistics of doing on-site and all that is too much. Understood. But that same group then goes and complains they don't like doing all the videos. So you got to understand, if you're saying you don't like it one way, you're at the same time agreeing that you're willing to keep it as is. So just kind of keep that in mind. If there's some other idea or whatnot that you want to put together and propose, please do.
How many districts participate in region band? Which
Three, 2, 11, and 8.
2 and 8.
Al,
Might have an idea.
when y'all meet, you're gonna come back, y'all are gonna have a vote amongst yourselves, I'm assuming with this, and then you'll come back to us in the fall.
Yes.
Before a final choice of what we're gonna do.
I think this kind of is final choice.
So here's what I just want to mention. We obviously don't want to do it that way. Should they decide from the other two, they're going to do it that way.
Okay.
I really don't think it's smart to rely strictly on sight reading to see. I think it'd be a combination of both. The previous score they made off the video plus the other, but again, I don't love the idea that.
But then how would they do that?
That's just what I'm trying to say. I just don't like the idea of being tied to one thing, but that's just me.
Just one last question. I'm new here, so this is like a learning process for me, so I'll apologize in advance. But is there like a sight reading in addition to audition? Yes. So why do it twice?
Cheating
different.
The problem is you have different judges per district. And so that would be the best solution.
Yeah.
Take the first round score, but because you have 3 different districts getting judged by 3 different sets of people, you can't fairly.
It's not that
Well, I hope I'm not misspeaking here. I know Jay's not with us anymore, but Jay was in charge of Allstate this year. And Jay said that using the GMA scores was not going to be possible because of the new things in the GMA handbook of how the scores are locked down and all that. The old way of sharing the scores and whatnot was not going to be thinking. So
I also have a question.
that throws
Elijah, go ahead with your question. You want to unmute and talk?
Yes. Hey, y'all. So I'm a student teacher out in Becca with Miss Savoy. And I'm hoping that since I have all this knowledge and wisdom in one place, I can learn from y'all. So when it comes to Region Honor Band, I'm sure I can learn from this whole fiasco. But I was one of the college students that was running around not knowing what's going on. So when it comes to responsibilities from VSU and whoever runs it, what are those responsibilities?
to provide rooms and provide equipment.
So what went wrong this year? I'm thinking from an outside in perspective because I don't know what happened. I just kind of heard things. So what went wrong?
Why don't you call me later and I'll share it with you.
Okay, thank you.
That in detail.
All right.
I think we should vote for snow on January 10th, so that we can just use the.
Hey, anything can happen. Daniel, question or you just stretch?
I had 3 quick ones, and I think it's just 2 because I forgot the other one. What is the main concern every year for Region Honor Band? Is there like a main theme that everybody says all the time every year? that's wrong with region automated? Or is it just different ones?
Up to this year, it was the audition process. Yeah.
Well,
People,
here's the thing, and I'll say this and I'll be done. For years, we never discussed region band. Joe Brazier came to this meeting, he said, this is when region band is, he sent out the stuff. We never talked about it. It was never discussed because he ran it. It was a great process. And then when we decided to say, we don't want to go all the way to McDonough to do and that's what it's about. People want to stick it to GME. I mean, people can say what they want to. That's what it boils down to. And for a lot of people, and I get it, you don't want to pay the fee, you don't want to make it a drive to McDonough to do the audition. But we never talked about any of this. It was just easy as it could be. And now we've spent more time talking about region band than anything in our own district. I don't know. It's getting frustrating because we're trying to reinvent the wheel. It's really not that hard. It's just an honor band between 3 districts. I mean, you got an audition process. We need to stick with it, move on, and quit every year talking about this more than we talk about everything else. I wish we'd have never changed the process to begin with. I've made that clear, and other people, that was what we got the meeting last year. A lot of people felt the same way, but what we made the decision was move on, let's go on with it. But I think we're trying to reinvent the wheel too much here with all this stuff every year.
Anything else for the good of the group? No questions? Anybody else?
So we'll run that by, the committee that's, in favor of 3 and not in favor of the last one, and we'll see what comes up.
If y'all don't mind, we can kind of move to the next few things pretty quickly. It's 8:44.
Yeah.
We're going. All right. LGPE for us this past year, we had some good things about it and some bad things about it. A few concerns that came out of this year was questioning whether or not we could have the possibility of having a middle school LGPE and then having a separate high school LGPE. The only problems with that Ms. Christie told me to kind of address was the fact that the judges, it wasn't worth it to have the judges do that because of the judging hours involved. She gave me another little list that I had somewhere. I don't know if I shared it with you. But her thing is they are trying to host around a lot of different things, and trying to have 2 different LGPE events is not feasible at the Wayne County campus. And I think that was the main thing. It's trying to split the event into a middle school event and a high school event. It's been more profitable for us to do the events together. I don't know if you guys had anything. I think one of the people that suggested that was Joy. I don't think she's with us tonight. Any openness, conversation to that?
We've tried that before and it didn't.
Okay.
I was gonna say, is it possible to have one school host middle school and one school host high school?
It'd be about, we have to get the judges to both locations.
It's not
Multiple.
feasible to do 3 for middle school and 3 for high school.
That is separate. If you do separate panels, that's more money GME has to fork out for it, and then well, I mean, they probably could, but they
do that.
They did one just for that.
I don't know, I think we talked about middle school.
We don't have enough middle school, that's why I say it's fun doing 2 separate ones.
Oh, okay.
The hour per hour.
Yeah,
That's
so
what
it's paid by hour, not by the number.
That's what we don't have numbers.
Yeah. So that was just something that was brought up. I want to bring it to your attention there. So, 6th grade honor band, I think it went great this year on both campuses. Kids had fun. Things worked out. I don't think I have heard any bad things from people. So it all worked out good. Anything you want to contribute to that?
The one small hiccup we have is just T-shirts. There was some schools that forgot to fill out their T-shirts on the registration forms. Just make sure when you're doing your registration form that you fill out everything.
Yeah, look at the whole form.
Yeah, you have the right search everybody.
Okay.
Great website, so.
Yes.
That's very user friendly.
Again, please make sure you fill out everything. We send stuff out. Make sure you fill that out, get it back to us. Having to chase down people for certain things is not fun. But yeah, that's good. Any other trade on bad things?
Well, another thing about the T-shirts, I told Daniel, like, if maybe next year, if an extra small option could be made.
Extra small option, okay.
I got some itty bitties.
I was gonna
Put
say,
them
I had to
things in
get
a
them
cheeseburger now.
swamped this
All
year.
right.
But just, just something.
Good deal. Solo ensemble,
Well,
I'm sorry, we're done.
did you want to look at, you expressed, I won't speak for you, but you expressed that you would like to move it away from Ray Cross if there was somebody else willing.
Can we talk about that in the fall meeting? Okay. Because we're just kind of.
We're gonna table it.
We're gonna table my first table, and we're gonna table that. And I don't mind hosting it, it's just one of those things, like my kids never really get to go anywhere, but it's one of those things, it's fine. And also, I think the other issue was the fact that, it didn't kind of balance out as far as Waycross and Camden. It wasn't a distance thing.
Got a little off balance from the original.
Yes, so we need to look at that again. And we'll talk about that in the fall.
And we're over to Wayne County now.
Shit. All right, so on someone was released, any recap?
We had a great event, 6 judges, we went from 8:30 to like 1 o'clock, and, yeah, if you're not sending your kids to school on time, you're missing. It's a great chance to highlight those individuals who are doing good for you, that don't get all the chance to get recognition.
Cool. And while we're at it, South Georgia percussion.
That event also went really well. We had, schools over 2.5 hours away that drove all the way to Camden to attend and perform and participate. We had, Vince Rossi there, did a wonderful job, pumping up all the kids. Next year, if, he's already agreed to do it, if the date works out, Travis Downs will be our clinician. The one and only Travis Downs, Mr. Midwest Percussion Ensemble, Midwest everything, right? Takes middle school band, so you definitely want to try to get your kids there next year, because that will be a great clinician to work with, and start another date.
Next says new business. We just talked about the issues of trying to split LGPD, so that's out there. I did a little form to ask for any new issues that we need to talk about. Somebody mentioned combining middle school and high school first round all-state auditions. I just think it's a fake. One of the things says that proposal was to combine middle and high school first round all-state auditions on the same day to increase efficiency and more judging panels.
We don't have control of
reduced. So I'm just.
That's the state.
I'm just reading what was there. All right, so that's a state thing, nothing to do with us.
Where's Mr. Bussey gonna host that up?
He will.
He already left.
Oh.
And his car. He had a place to host it.
All right, good. All right, cool. Take that out. Next thing, jumping back to Mr. Adam Window, we're talking about a few issues. I'll let you talk to those. The first one was setting location for middle school district. We already did that. That's done. Redistricting straight on. We're gonna do that in the fall.
The one we haven't talked about, Steve, we can table this next time, get more people here. We keep having an issue with not having enough stands for district events. Honor bands, mainly LGPD, not having stands in the warm-up room and whatnot. So I just was going to float the idea out. Do we want to try to purchase a set of stands as a district? You're talking about $3,500 to $4,000 will get you 50 stands and 2 racks. And that can be owned by the district, that can be kept. If you host an event, that can be kept at your school and you can use them however you want to, and then that way we have enough stands for everything. We might not be interested in that.
For the schools that provide the professional equipment for all these district events too, because you're probably more likely to put a fist through a tambourine than you are to break a music stand too. So these folks like Lynn Academy and Brunswick who've been bringing their professional equipment for over a decade and wear and tear, I think where you draw a line at a certain point, some of these kids just need to probably bring their own wire stands.
Stands tend to float off too.
Yes, they do.
And so a host site with good intentions, by 5 years from now, will they have all of them or have?
As a host site, I can tell you, absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, I agree with the wire stands for honor band. I don't know that I agree with it for like LGBT. Bringing up, you're bringing up stuff.
A host site hosting LGPE, we need to have providing the equipment necessary to perform. And that includes warm up, that includes.
And that makes me them reaching out to other schools.
Yes.
I mean, I think,
it
I've
can
taken stuff
without
before,
having the district fork up the money.
so we just need to just have
more
that communication about what the needs are.
Yeah.
and get that.
And, we can look at other venues if we have to. I'm sure there's people who have stands enough stands at their school to pull it off if we have to.
the big issue is that a couple years ago, they didn't have stands, and there was like I was in the seat dealing with that. There were a lot of people upset, and so we provided some to the schools, and appreciate that, but yeah. When there weren't gonna be any, people really got up for it, so that's why this is an issue.
Okay. Yeah. So it's gonna be big for
Everybody, every student just, saying, over there.
I'll talk with the event coordinators about possible big stands. I'm thinking I'm the centralized location for about it, so we'll figure something out. All right. Was there any other discussion about that? Probably, I'm sorry, because it was about it. The last few things, judge commission recommendations. Christy has supplied us with the QR code to put in these things. Here's another thing, and she didn't tell me to say this, but I'm gonna say it because I've heard it from a few people. If you don't like the judges, when she asks you for your recommendations for judges, please look at the list. She also gave a link for that, and I'll share that out to y'all too as well, to see who the judges are and make a recommendation for judges. If you don't like it, you gotta say something, rather than just whining and complaining after you get your 2 or your 3 or your 8, whichever one you got. Please make sure that you give that feedback. Everything we do is based on feedback. And so if we don't get feedback or input, then they make decisions based on what they have. Okay, so that's that first thing there. And if you want to make any kind of recommendation about clinicians for any of our events, she's provided a QR code for that as well. So 2 opportunities to have your voice heard as far as this is concerned. Okay. Any other thing for the good of the house? And speaking of the house, let's make a motion for us to go home.
I motion to adjourn. Second.
Thank you all so much for coming. We appreciate you all. Thank you guys online for coming. I'll update all this information and get it sent out as soon as I can. And if you have anything for me, please email me.
Thanks, guys.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
I love you guys.
Oh, got
Show him an invitation.
It was that. Our kids only sit with them for 20 minutes. Yeah.
True story. I feel that.
Yeah, so it's like, oh, you're here, oh, really?
In my soul.
Scores this year.
I mean, not that it's not a good idea to do that, but I'm trying to take off some things.
There are some other problem. I was thinking that well, maybe just for the site. Yeah. Outside.
Thank you guys for coming, appreciate it.
So this one goes this way.
Ah.
Oh, yeah. Goes that way.
I got
Yeah, only.
and it was like 6:40, and I had a train that was moving, and then I hit the next train that was stopped, and I just kept going, riding around.
That's quick. Quick study was supposed to be replaced with side reading. It's not. I think side reading.
I have to give it to one, I'd rather do that, but I have to give it to one kid. He's a special ed kid, but he's not bad, like, I've had to get.
My wife, she did that last year, the year before this year. They were losing enough teachers.